Hi guys, thanks so much for joining us here on a deep dive today. We're doing a deep dive, and excuse me while I just quickly get something. We're doing a deep dive, so sit back, get your cup of tea, get your cup of coffee. Thanks for joining us in the men's movement. I'm Jack Revens, the trainer from Down Under, and let's talk about something that happens pretty much every day at our gym. We have guys come in and they're sort of like they're almost stuck in sort of procrastination. They can't get going. It's almost like the analysis paralysis. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know where to start because there's so much information. It's almost information overload out there. And this kills anything to do with momentum. It stops guys dead in their tracks, and they're short. They don't know what to do. They come to me. They've read everything. They know all about macros, micros. They pretty much know a lot more than me when it comes to all the latest buzz stuff. Because, but they're sorry, not because, but they're not doing anything. They're actually not taking any action. So today, coming up, I'm going to talk to you about how to overcome this roadblock, and also talk about how to be reactive. And we all know about not to have a knee-jerk reaction, but I want you to be reactive with your training, because it's really important to take the action and become become a person who does something. I've told you a story before about there's two frogs that are sitting on a lily pad, and one decides to jump in the water. How many get wet? So I'm just trying to look for my text down here. So there's two frogs sitting on a lily pad, and one decides to get wet. So one decides to jump in the water. There's a frog here and a frog here, and one decides to jump in the water. How many get wet? And you'd be surprised by the answer, which I'll bring about later in the session, because it's about taking the action. We've got to take the action. So yes, you can follow all the influences out there with the macros, the micros, all the stuff with the metabolic conditioning, but you're getting confused, almost metabolic confusion, because you're not actually starting, you're not doing anything, you're not taking any action. And the fitness industry, they sell feelings of fitness. They actually don't sell you anything to do with fitness. They're selling you programs, they're selling you books, they're selling you methodologies on what to do, they're selling you subscriptions to things, but you're not actually taking any action. So I'd like you to learn how to take the action. It's not about the right supplement, it's not about the right program, it's about taking the action. So I'll tell you a story what happened to me when I was at a weight loss seminar. I'm at this weight loss seminar, and I've been doing this for over 40 years, 4 decades of bringing this knowledge to my clients, bringing this knowledge to you guys via the men's movement, being the trainer from Down Under. And I frequently go to seminars. And one day I was at this seminar, and this person approached me and said, "Hey, last night I saw on the TV one of the current affairs commercials. It's really a TV show, but I call it a commercial. They said there was a program on, and they were showing that the best way to lose weight was to do this thing where at that stage, it was go as fast as you can for 12 seconds, rest for 8 seconds, and go as fast as you can for 12 seconds, or it was the other way about, and you do this for 10 minutes, and this is the fastest, most effective way to burn burn fat." I said, I said, "What do you think?" I said, "Did you do it last night after watching the program?" And they said, "No." I said, "Did you do it this morning before you came to the seminar?" And they said, "No." I said, "Are you going to do it tonight?" She goes, "No, no." They said, "No, I just want to know what you thought of the program." And it's like the hunt for the best program is almost a distraction from what you have to do. They weren't intending to do the program. They wanted me to just give them another, it's not good enough. I spoke to a trainer. They said it wasn't good. They wanted an excuse. People want an excuse for what they know they have to do. So the hunt for the best program, the hunt for the search for the best thing to do is a distraction from what you have to do. So I've watched this for over 4 decades. There's a lot of rubbish out there. And I was with a lady this morning, training her in the gym. And I said, "I can tell you one of two things, the truth or what you want to hear." Because it's amazing. People want to hear the rubbish because it makes them feel better. So there's a real problem with the information overload, but we've got to start implementing the information you're getting, because there's no point buying books, programs. It's just going to keep you exactly where you are, because we want you to get moving. So that's what actually matters. It's about getting you moving. So let's go through a couple of things that are going to keep you moving. And probably the best way to keep it moving is, let's just keep it simple. Let's keep it really simple, guys. Really simple. We don't have to overcomplicate it. We keep it really simple, and let's put one foot in front of the other. So whether you are going for a walk down the park, whatever you're doing, just keeping it simple. I like to say, I've said a couple of things before. If you've watched my past videos, I say a lot of things, but I want to become kings. I want you to become kings. And so we want you to keep it really simple. We want you to do the thinking and become a king, but we also want you to do and become a king. So we're going to do the walking and do the thinking, because there's no point just thinking about doing it, but we've got to be walking. We've got to be moving. It doesn't matter if you do squats while you're walking. It doesn't matter if you stop on someone's side fence and you do some push-ups. It doesn't matter if you do some arm circles. It doesn't matter what you do as long as you move. So once you've decided to move and get rid of all the noise out there and keep it completely simple, keep it really simple, then start moving and start with walking. It's possibly the easiest, simplest thing to do. Did you know that human beings, what made us start thinking was us actually moving? Now, bear with me on this. Stick with me, because this is a longer, deeper dive. So get your cup of tea and feel free, whenever you want to, is to go there and buy us a coffee. Buy us a coffee on that thing, and we can donate money to charity, the Polished Man or the Men's Shed here in Australia. Two great charities here. But we want you to sit back and enjoy this session. It's not just a 5-minute thing. Watch this on your big screen TV. I know a lot of people now are watching this on their smart TVs, and it's on the big screen. So hello from me. But we want you to move, because it's about moving and getting you moving. Deep research into this about moving and thinking. And did you know when we were apes up in the trees, what was happening is we started coming down from the tree, and by us moving, it got us thinking, because we had to recall how far we'd walked. If we started walking, say, 10, 20 meters from the tree, we had to turn around and walk back, because we had a short memory. So we had to do the thinking. So the more we move, the better it is. It's actually better for us to move. So it's amazing how you can get your thoughts very clear in your head if you go for movement. If you do some activity, it's really good. It's really powerful. So it's a bit prehistoric, but we used to do this. And they've done studies with kids. And when kids are being set problems at school, challenges at school, kids will get up and they want to move around. If they are allowed to move around when they're set a problem, they move around, they can solve that problem a lot better and a lot more efficiently. So we've got to get you moving, and we've got to keep it really simple. We've got to keep it simple and just get you walking, and walk every day. We've got to get you walking every day. So we got to do the moving and keep it simple. Don't overcomplicate it, because the overcomplication I'll talk to you about what happens later in the program, and how the overcomplication of it is actually a roadblock. We don't need any more roadblocks. So once you've said, right, I'm going to start, you've done the thinking and say, right, now I'm going to do the walking. Go out the front door and start moving, okay? That's what we're on about here. So we're going to take the action. We talk about, if you can see that clipboard back there, we're going to take the action. Okay, we're going to take the action. So those frogs, getting back to those frogs, 2 frogs were sitting on a lily pad, and one decides to jump in the water. How many got wet? Well, in fact, the answer is not 1. It's not 2. Most people say 1 or 2. The answer is none. You do not get wet by deciding to jump in the water. You don't get fit by deciding to get fit. You got to implement it. You got to implement this. Implement. You got to do it and take the. That's what that sits back there. That sits back there for a reason. There for a reason, to remind me, to tell you to take the action. Every day we take the action, and then we do the reaction. We can't just do the action, we've got to do the reaction. We can take action and reaction. So we've got to keep doing this. It's really powerful to keep doing. So let's keep going. So we've talked about keeping it simple. The second thing we do, the second sort of, if you like, pillars. I know in the internet world I talk about pillars. Let's call it about 4 pillars here. The first pillar was keeping it simple. The second pillar is really easy. Eat. And what I mean by that is eat food. Now, food, as I've said multiple times before, food doesn't come in a box. the easiest way to eat food and the easiest way to read a label, if it comes in a label on a food, that's not food. Real food does not have a label on it, so you don't have to worry about reading the label. Just eat food. You know what this is. You know what real food is. You don't have to be told this, but unless you've been living under a rock, you know what real food is. Anything that's not in a packet. In fact, this is a really good trick. Shake the food, and if it makes a noise, it's not food. Shake a banana, shake an apple, shake a piece of steak, a sausage, all those sort of things there, they are food. Shake a packet of anything, it's not food. In fact, I was with my daughter the other day and we're walking down the health food aisle of the shopping centre, and she points to a product and she said, "What's this doing in here? This isn't health food." Now, she's a teenager. She can recognise what is real food and what is unhealthy food. She actually then said, "This is just diabetes in a jar." So that the kids know it, right? So I'm sure you know it. Now, you know this. Once you know something, you can't unknow it. To know and not to do is not to know. You know this. So don't then go, "Well, I'm going to eat a packet tonight," open up a packet of whatever. It's not food. Eat real food. So I used to have a slogan which was eat real food, train real hard, do real exercises, get real results. So, I can tell you one of two things, the truth or what you want to hear. That's probably the second main pillar of what we're talking about here today. So, we know how to eat food. Now, I get it. You're not going to eat fantastically all the time. It's okay. Don't beat yourself up by not eating like the best food all the time. It's okay. Just do the and then. I'm going to release a video called And Then over the next couple of weeks. Okay, you're intending to eat, healthy today. You're intending to eat real food today, and you didn't. And then you moved on. You're intending to go for an exercise program tomorrow morning when you wake up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Didn't wake up at 6 o'clock, woke up at 6:30. And then you had enough time to do 10 minutes of movement. Didn't get up till 7 o'clock, and then I decided to take my runners with me and go for a run or a walk at lunchtime at work. There's always an and then. Your life has no expiry date. Look at your driver's license. There is no expiry date, you as a person, on that. No expiry date. Now, the third pillar, the third thing I want you to do, if you look down here at this thing, the third thing I want you to do is get some real sleep. Get some sleep. Get some rest. You need some rest. If you get rest, the cortisol levels go down. You're metabolizing fat more efficiently and effectively, and you'll just feel better. So get some sleep. So if you've got a phone, you've got one of these things here, put it somewhere else, not beside the bed, and read this. Did you know they asked a study? The question was, when you wake up in the morning, the question was, do you check this before you've gone to the toilet or after you go to the toilet? But it wasn't. The question was not, do you take it with you to go to the toilet? That's a sad thing. It's not even a question of, do you take it with you to go to the toilet? It was assumed you were taking it with you to go to the toilet. So the question was, do you use it before or after going to the toilet first thing in the morning? So you've got this glued to you. You wake up in the morning and this is right next to you. So put this somewhere where it's not, by the bed when you go to bed. I've gone back to buying an old analog alarm clock. It's great. An old-fashioned alarm clock. So this phone, yes, it's a great device. The brain is a fantastic master, but it's an awful slave. This should not control you. Don't let this control you. You control it. Put it over there. If you have to, there's an invention where they get you to lock this up. I'm not suggesting you do that, but, again, 80% of the time, get rid of this. I have a T-shirt which is called a No Phone Day, and my kids love it. I wear a T-shirt that says No Phone Day. It's one day a week where I don't have my phone at all. It's really, it feels fantastic. So number two. Number three is to get you to eat properly. We've got to eat. So sleep properly. So the sleep is, so pull the shutters, darken room. If you need to use music, use some music. If you need to relax, do some relaxation exercises. We want the body to just slow down, train your brain to calm down and sleep. We want you to sleep. Okay, we need you to sleep because we've gone through there. Keeping it simple, eat real food, get some real sleep, and you've got to get some connection, guys. You've got to get connection. You've got to somehow reach out to some other people. Get connection. You can't do it alone. No person, no man does this alone. It's really important, this. Sadly, I was reading a stat yesterday. The second most highest suicide rate is guys over 85 because they're disconnected. There's no connection. We don't want to get to the stage where you're disconnection later on in life. And if you're out there listening to this and you are over 85, get connected. Join others. We have a thing in the men's movement where we have a community. We're setting up a whole community of men, helping each other. I often use a thing here called I've spoken about it before, about 5. And that 1 in 5 represents statistics. That 1 in 5 represents how many people at any one time are experiencing pressure, anxiety, and depression. But if we look back at that, because there's another number in that 5, have a quick look there. There's a number here. It's a Roman numeral 4. So if the 1 in 5, we talk about these stats all the time, 1 in 5 experiencing depression, 1 in 5 experiencing depression. If the 1 in 5 are experiencing it, what are the other 4 doing? What are the other 4 doing? Just watching that one guy over there suffering? What are the other 4 doing? Are they contributing to that stress and pressure, or are they going to help? So, yes, I'm reaching out to you if you're one of the 1 and say, hey, I'm asking you to sleep, I'm asking you to eat, and I'm asking you to keep it simple, and I'm also asking you to get connected. But if you're one of the 4, reach out and help some others. Get connected. Pick up your phone. Use it as you're in charge of the phone, and text someone and say, don't just text them once. Follow through with it. What I mean by follow through is text them and say, hey, how you going, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to get back to you by Wednesday at 6 o'clock if you don't get back to me. Reach out to them and say, hey, I'm going to go for a walk tonight at 6 o'clock. If you can physically get there and be with them, great. But if you can't, I'm going to go for a walk at 6 o'clock tonight. What I want you to do is go for a walk at 6 o'clock tonight too, and I'll text you as I'm walking, and we can talk to each other if you want to talk to each other, or you can text me and say, yep, I've put my shoes on, I'm out the door, I'm not far behind you. So we create a community, even if it's a virtual community, because we can't all be together at once. We're all busy, we get that. But it's about, trying to help everyone and surrounding yourself with others. And that's what we do here on the men's movement. And that's one of the things I try to encourage you to do is get together. That's why we've got this thing here. Where is it? That thing there. If you scan that QR code, rewind if you have to, stop the video and scan that from your big screen TV, you can donate and become part of those charities, which is the Men's Shed here in Australia and the Polish Man. And they're really good charities to be part of. And I said it was a longer dive because I wanted you to have your cup of tea and sit back and enjoy this, because I don't want to rush this stuff, because on Monday we do a thing called Monday Minutes here at the Men's Movement. On Wednesday we do a thing where I do a coffee fit tip, quick 2-3 minute thing. And on the Friday I deliver you a longer, deeper dive that you can watch and catch up over the weekend, because this is important, this stuff. The connection is huge. There's a huge gap in society now with guys. So we started at the beginning where we said, okay, we're going to start. We did the thinking to say, okay, what should I do? I'm overwhelmed with all the information out there. We're getting you moving. Let's move. We've done the thinking, and now we're going to do the walking. We're going to become kings at this, and we're going to keep it simple. We're going to keep it simple by just walking, eating better, getting some sleep, and getting community support. And get support. And those guys who are the 4 or the 5, you're going to be really powerful. You're like giving an IV. If we go back to that, I love this. We got the 1 in 5, we got the 4 in 5, and that IV there, that 4, we're going to give people an IV. Give them an intravenous drop of your motivation to help them, because we want you to help them. So we're going to walk more, eat more, sleep better, and get community. That's what we're going to do. We're going to implement these changes. But there's a huge gap between where you are, huge gap now between where you are here and where you want to be. And you're stuck here in looking at research. You're stuck here looking at the best program. We've overcome that because there is no best program. The hunt for the best program is a distraction from what you know you have to do. All right? So reaching for this and trying to be perfect is a waste of time, because the perfect plan doesn't exist. All you're doing is waiting for the perfect time to start, the perfect program to start, the perfect nutrition, the perfect coach to come along. You're all waiting. You're waiting for the perfect costume to wear. I haven't got my runners yet. You're going to keep waiting forever. I once, about 20 years ago, made a video on YouTube. You can search it out if you want. I'll see if I can find it. I've been doing this for quite a while. I've been doing training people for over 4 decades, and I was on YouTube back then. And the video I made back then was quite funny. I videoed. I was unshaven. I didn't have any clothing. The lights were bad, but video was about procrastination because I was waiting for the camera. I was waiting for the lights. I was waiting for the better microphone. I was waiting for everything. So I made a video about stop waiting, and I made it there and then because I was also waiting for the best thing. Do not wait. Start messy. Make it totally messy. Be imperfect. Don't wait for a reason to start. Just start. Just get into it and go. Just go. No more thinking. Just go. Get out that front door and go. And that's what we do here on the men's movement. We're not talking about, being perfect. We're just talking about moving. So one of the things we do on the movement is we try to get you to become a front door champion. And how we do that is we get you reaching out the front door every day. And we get you doing that by every day I send you a email when you join the Become a Men's Front Door Champion, and you get an email every day for 30 days, and you get a personal training session from me every day for 30 days. So if you want a hand with this, then jump on board our men's movement and become a front door champion for 30 days. Every day, you'll have me in your head, and we talk about things like this as you're moving, as you're training, and I'll be training you as you go, and it's really good. It's lots of fun. People love it. They say it's really good. I tell you jokes, I give you feedback, I give you case studies, and it's really, really fun, and it gets you moving, and you'll be blown away with what happens in 30 days, because I have guys come into the gym and they train with me at the gym, and they join our gym and they do one session, and I might see them in 2 weeks' time. Oh, I've been busy. And then they'll come and start training half an hour, and then they'll say, see you tomorrow, and they might be back in 2 or 3 days' time, and then I don't see them again for a while. Yet I have guys who do the 30-day challenge, no gym equipment needed. No, you can just do it in your work boots if you want. Nothing special required, and they get fitter, stronger, healthier because they're doing it every day. Every day is the secret. That's the secret, guys. There's no trick to this. When you start moving every day and training not for perfection, it's consistency. Perfection doesn't work. Consistency every day. And if you miss a day, and then you do the next day. And if you miss 2 days, and then you do the next day, okay? There's no need to be drowning in information and information overload and analysis paralysis and all those words that psychologists have. And they have those because they're human habits. So we're trying to break the habit and create a different habit. That's all we're trying to do, is create a different habit. And if you do it every day, you will. And you get support from me every day. Every day I'm in your inbox, every single day. And if you don't want to do it tomorrow, and then you do it the next day. So, and if you do the challenge, or when you do the challenge, the great thing is you have the challenge forever. You have this program forever. So you can reach back and use it whenever you want. And then you also be part of our ongoing live streams that we invite you to be part of. And you get support from the whole community, because it's the 4 pillars for success, guys. Do you like that? 4 pillars. Actually, let's go with that, with the 4 pillars. You keep it simple. You eat real food. You get adequate sleep. You surround yourself with support, and then you do the front door challenge. It's up there on the site there, guys. Be part of the movement, guys, and be part of the front door challenge, because this is where it all happens. If we can change one man and change one person, we have a ripple effect of changing the whole community, and that's what it's all about. That tagline that's been going along the bottom there, we can change the shape of the whole community one man at a time. So, do it, guys. I'm Jack Revens, a trainer from Down Under. I hope you enjoyed this special, longer, deeper dive that comes to you every Friday on the men's movement. We look forward to seeing less of you next time. Take care. Cheers.